Alright guys, this is what we've been waiting for. Welcome back to another First Descendant video, and here what I have for you guys is Luna. I have her almost built fully, but I just want to get this video out here because there's been a lot of misconceptions on how this character works. And I just want to bring some clarity to everything. So I'm doing this right off the cuff, so if I make mistakes with what I say, well, not with what I say, but in my thought process, but just bear with me. So let's just take a minute to just enjoy the intro. Let's go. Alright, so Luna, as everybody knows, she was advertised as a support character, and that is exactly what she is. Think of her like a bard from Monster Hunter World. Well, the one with a bard from Warcraft, the horn, the hunting horn from Monster Hunter, and Lucio from like Overwatch. And what we have here, let's go over her passive. So you have three skills or three notes that you can go into each time. So so your passive is when you're hitting your note, you gain your inspiration gauge goes up. Now your gauge is below your MP bar, and well, let's just cut the music really quick. Your inspiration gauge is your bar below your MP, and you get 14 stacks. And that 14 stacks, you get to enhance your one of your three skills, and you can only enhance it once, and then the bar goes back to 0. And on a no failure, let's say you have 5 stacks and you fail on going to the next skill, it decreases 1 stack. So, and if you've been out of combat for 20 seconds, you also lose all your stacks. And also, if you finish or deplete all of your MP, you go back to 0 because it stops everything. So let's go over her one. So this is the only thing you're going to be using the entire time. It doesn't matter what weapon you have equipped, you're not going to be using it because you're going to be in your rhythm stance the entire time. So when you pull out your one, you equip your unique weapon and you fire the notes, and every time you fire, the note activates, allowing you to use your skills. So you gotta shoot, and then you can activate your skill and things like that. Successfully hitting notes grants perfect pitch, and perfect pitch is you get a skill power modifier increase by 1%. You want to hit these notes because your max stacks is 25%, so you get a 25% skill power modifier increase to your skills. Now, also, you only start with about, let's see, I'm trying to remember. You start with 30 bullets, okay? So you start with 30 bullets, and you start shooting your notes, and then you could go into your 2, your 3, or your 4. So let's go over your 2 first. So this is you buff your allies and yourself with the red music. I'm just gonna call it the red music. You grant skill power modifier increase for yourself, and then skill power increase for your allies. For your allies is based off your max MP times 3.5%, and the enhanced version is max MP times 7.5%. On top of when you enhance it, they'll also gain a skill critical hit damage increase and a skill critical hit rate increase. So when you want to enhance one of your skills, I think this is the best one to enhance, because this will be up by the time you get your 14 stacks. You could go into this, it'll buff all your allies, and they're gonna get a huge skill power increase. Now Luna, I'm gonna say it from the jump, I think is very good paired with Lepic. I think Lepic will succeed with Luna on his side to buff his skill power and things like that, and his skill critical hit damage and skill critical hit rate. I think other Descendants like, you know, Kyle, possibly Blair, um, who else? Valby, Bunny, like they're all gonna benefit. Even like probably not Glay as much because she's weapon oriented, but a lot of the Descendants that use the skills are gonna benefit a lot from Luna. So that's your 2. Your 3 is called Relaxing Act, and this is your MP recovery music. It's the blue music. So when you pop this, you'll gain MP recovery amount uh, for yourself and for your allies. And for your allies, it also comes with a resource cost reduction decrease by 56.1%. Now, the base duration for all of these musics, or these notes, I should say, you know, the red note, the blue note, and the purple note, which is your ultimate, is 5 seconds. And I'm going to go over duration because there's some misconceptions with duration. But let's go over the last one, your ult. So this one is Cheerful Act, and this allows for skill cooldown. So for your allies, they're going to get a 10% cooldown reduction as its base, but if you enhance it, they're going to gain 100% cooldown reduction. So this is also good for your Lepic allies, where their cooldown is like 2 minutes for their ult. If you pop this after you have 14 stacks, they'll go back, they'll have their ult right away. So with the way Luna works, you would want to you would want to go between your 2 and your 3 and save your ult. If you wanted to, you could go between your 2 and your 3 14 times to get the stacks, or you use your ult first and gain your stacks. And let me show you what that looks like. So you pop your 1, you shoot, right? Gain some stacks, and then you go into your ult, and now look at the bar goes up faster because it only goes up with your ult when you're shooting. And then you can enhance, and now all your allies will have this enhanced buff for your red, and then you can go into your blue, and then, you know, keep shooting. Go back to your red. Well, I missed that. So when you miss, as you can see, I'm back at the regular notes. Now, one thing to keep in mind, the reason why you would want to switch is because it increases your shots. So you get 10 bullets in the chamber, basically, or in total, 10 extra bullets every time you switch to a new note, to a new music note. So that's why you want to constantly switch, because you'll gain more shots. Because you don't want to be out of this form, honestly. You want to keep this form as much as possible. And another thing, you don't have to shoot every bullet. You can just let it go, and you'll still be in this form. So if you're not comfortable with, you know, if you don't want to panic shoot, because you'll actually lose MP. Like right, I see I'm losing MP if I'm missing a lot of shots, right? So you don't wanna miss shots. Now let's talk about duration, because as you can see, you have your let's see, for this one, right? You have your cooldown, which is 6 seconds on note success, but your cooldown on note failure is 15 seconds. Now, cooldown only applies to the skill note failure, and let me show you what that looks like. Let's see if we have all the cooldowns. Right? We have all the cooldowns. So if we go back to our 2, our cooldown went from 15 seconds to 5.7 seconds. But the cooldown on the success note continues to stay at 6 seconds. Now, all the theory crafting I did pretty much went out the window in how she actually works. So if you are missing your notes in battle, yeah, cooldown is gonna help you. It's like a get out of jail free card, because if you miss, the cooldown won't be as long. But to use Luna properly and to have the most modules at your disposal, if you're not missing shots, you don't need cooldown. And same goes for skill duration. So let's go to skill duration. So a lot of people think that duration is bad. It's not bad, it's just misunderstood. So skill duration, if you look at her 2, the duration would be 14.5 seconds for yourself and 5 seconds base for your allies. Duration does not apply for yourself. It only applies to the ally. So we can make the duration go from 5 seconds, which is its base, to go to 10 seconds. Now, this is really good. I think duration is actually really good on her, because if your ally steps out of your aura range, that's when the duration timer starts. However, you can actually stack all of these 3 buffs on your ally. So let's say you put your 2 down, your red music. They'll have the buff, the red buff. Then you go to your blue music. The red duration timer starts, and they'll have the blue. So now both red and blue are activated, but the red timer duration started. But then when you switch back to your red note, the red goes back to 0 for the duration start, and then the timer starts for the blue. So because the cooldown by its base is 6 seconds and 7 seconds, you can literally switch between the two, and all of your allies will have these buffs. Basically 100% uptime, as long as you're not missing any notes, and as long as you're not finishing up all of your bullets, and you're staying in your rhythm for the entire time. And same goes for your ult. If you pop your ult, you can literally have all 3 activated at the same time. And then, you keep switching back and forth. So duration is good for your allies. It just doesn't apply for yourself, unfortunately. Maybe they'll fix this in the near future. I don't see that happening, but duration only applies to your allies. Same. Now, let's go over the last one, MP cost reduction. So, let's see, skill cost, right? So let's see, if we have frugal mindset, we have maximum, we'll just use the best one, maximum conservation, and I don't know, we'll just put weighing scales. All right. So if we look at the MP skill cost, when it's on your successful note hit, it'll still cost 20. But if you miss it, it'll only cost 12. Now, there's an argument to say, all right, so this is, again, my get out of jail free card. If I screw up, it's not so bad. But again, you're wasting so many slots. So this is what I've come up with so far as to if you're not missing any notes, right? This is, I believe, so far the best loadout so far for her. And I will tell you what to fill in for the other 3. So you have skill expansion, right? So I have skill expansion and amplification control, which I will have a skill effect range of 144%. Basically, all of my skills has a 19.5 meter radius, which is great because it actually covers a good amount on the map, no matter where you are. And they could always just come back, touch the aura, and then go back out, So I think range is going to be very good on her. We have skill extension and skill and maximize duration for the 85% skill duration. Again, I basically have doubled my duration for my allies. Again, she's a support. It's not all about you, it's also about your allies. So we have the duration for each of the skills at 10 seconds. And then I decided to go with Battle of Stamina for some HP and skill duration. I went with Agony for max MP, because if you look at her skills when you're buffing your allies, it goes off of your max MP times whatever the modifier is. So stacking max MP is actually really good for her. Honestly, I could do more testing for the damage of the gun, but you're going to be doing damage regardless, but I don't think it's as good at the expense of your max HP, because you can go for this slot, you could go skill simplification, and you will be doing a lot of damage, but at a negative 25% max MP reduction. So if you look at my my max MP, and I'm only level 21, my max MP is almost 450 with all of my components that I have right now. So, and that'll go up as I level her up to 40 again. You know, I only prestige her twice right now because I wanted to get this build video out to you guys. So we have Agony here, and we have also Enlightenment for more max MP. And right now, I think this is the best version of how to play Luna right now. For the other two, for these two slots, I would recommend Iron Defense. For the, you could go for the skill power modifier, which will help your one, right? Because we're taking a little hit with the maximum duration. So you could go Iron Defense. You could go either Iron Defense or Increased Defense. Or for this slot. For the next slot, honestly, max HP. You can't go wrong with more max HP. And then for the last slot, I've been debating this one. You could go multi-talented, right? So when you pop your one, you only get the first tech, the range, and the power modifier for 15%, but every other note that you hit, because these are all singular, right? The red, the blue, and the purple note, you're going to gain all attribute damage, which will help your one as well to do more damage. So you could go multi-talented. If you want to take the hit to your max MP, you could go skill power modifier just for more damage. You could go I was thinking also energy collection, just for the MP recovery, just to get your MP faster if you're running low. And yeah, so that would be the last three slots, in my opinion, in my personal opinion. And that is how I'm gonna run my Luna, and I think it has been working out pretty well. It just sucks that the cooldown and the duration doesn't really apply to herself, and the cooldown only applies when you fail the note. So if you're not failing notes, you don't need cooldown. But if you want cooldown, and as a safety net, my recommendation was gonna be, because I was gonna use this on her, it was gonna be focus on non-attribute, focus on singular, and I was gonna run nimble fingers and MP conversion, which would have put me at 75% skill cooldown. And if I miss a note, the cooldown's only 3.9 seconds. So, but if you're not missing notes, here are 4 slots you literally just wasted. You know, compared to what I have here. Oh, also, let's go over the components and the reactors. So, to keep this in mind, I thought the Divine Punishment was going to be good for her. But because you take out a unique weapon, the stacks of the Divine Punishment as you are buffing your allies does not work, because you're putting it away. So when you come out of all of your music notes, you have the only time it gets applied is really the duration that's left over from buffing your allies, and you're only gonna get meditation, I believe. Meditation or praise, one of these two. I forget which one, because they all look the same. But you're only getting one of the stacks. And that's only applied if you get out of your one, which is your unique weapon, and you go back to the Divine Punishment. The duration starts for your allies. So for 10 seconds, you're gaining 4 stacks. It's not worth it. However, just because you put the Divine Punishment away, the reactor still stays the same. you still reach your 160% skill power. So you can either go with a gold reactor or you could go with a purple reactor. Both are good. You would most likely want skill range, which I have here. Not this one. This one, skill range, or skill range, skill duration, or non-attribute skill power boost. Those would be my recommended 3. Skill cost doesn't matter unless you fail it. Skill cooldown doesn't matter unless you fail it. The components, just max HP, MP recovery out of combat, defense, max MP recovery in combat and defense, max HP in defense, max HP, and I have here shield. I don't have a better one, but again, I have 2-piece annihilation, and even 2-piece of bravery, or you could go with let's see. Well, I would say this is the best in slot, is right here, the Hungry Sonic, but you would have to defeat the hardest boss in the game right now that they just released, which is Gluttony, and I only beat it once, so I only have 2 of these components. So I would say this is the best in slot for her. So, but besides that, just rock what I'm rocking right now, or you could also run. Let's see. You could run 4-piece Frozen Heart because you're buffing allies, but again, you're not really using your firearm, so useless. You could let me see here. You could go 4-piece Slayer, I guess. Don't really recommend it. So unless you're running 4-piece Hungry Sonic, use the best 4 pieces you have with the substats that you need, honestly, until you get your 4-piece Sonic from Gluttony. And I think that is everything. Trying to think of if I missed anything else. I would say I haven't gotten it yet, but her Transcendent mods, Nimble Footsteps will be the best one for her for a support. You get her from Dead Bride. I haven't gotten it yet, but eventually, hopefully by tonight, I'll have it. So you'll gain movement speed and skill range for her, which basically helps her tremendously when you use it, when you buff your ally. And then the Noise Surge will basically be a DPS Luna, because you won't buff your allies, but you'll buff yourself with a bunch of stackable damage buffs. And this, you get it from Gluttony. So basically, when you go into your different skills, you'll deal skill damage to nearby enemies. I don't know how good this is going to be because I don't have it, but I'm pretty sure Nimble Footsteps is the way to go for support Luna. Oh, I know that was a lot. I don't think I'm missing anything. So yeah, so take a snapshot of this, and the last 3 mods is, increase HP, Iron Defense or increased defense, and then you could go skill simplification, energy collection, or multi-talented for the last slot. And that's the build, guys. I hope you guys enjoy it. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you on the next video.